Hey y'all, Lindsey Hammond here. Got my little assistant Colton, who's super excited to help. Aren't you? You excited to help? So today I want to give you guys some updates and go over how to repurpose cabinets. So when you're flipping a home, saving money is the most important thing. Even if you're not flipping it to resell and you're just doing it for yourself, saving money, and especially on things like cabinets, can really go a long way. Now, this is obviously not for if you have like some cheap, made cabinets that you just need to do away with. Don't even mess with those. But in some of these older homes, you will find these really awesome sturdy cabinets that are made of really good wood that can easily be fixed and look like brand new, but only cost you just a couple of $100s to redo all of them. So first thing is you want to go ahead and take off all of the door handles and the actual door paneling. So you'll just grab your little screwdriver, take that off so that you've got a good flat surface to work on. Next, you want to get some sandpaper, and I prefer to get a hand sander so that, I'm not having to use these guns quite as much. But you'll just use that to go over all of the doors, get it good and smooth. This will take off any old stuff. If you've got certain kinds of paints on there, it can be really hard to paint over and make it stick good. So this will get rid of any of that stuff. So you'll just sand on and off, get to a good color. Next, obviously pick your color. So you can do paint or stain here, either one, totally depending on what your preference is, what you want to go with. What I recommend, it doesn't cost much. Go to Home Depot or Lowe's, whichever store you use. Get the tiny little samples and paint it on there. Let it dry and see how your kitchen or bathroom looks in that light. Because it can look one way in the store and then look totally different once you get it in your home and get the light and everything on it like it should. So sample that out before you do this. I just recently had some of my clients who bought the paint and painted literally everything until they realized, oh my goodness, this gray is blue, and had to redo the whole thing. So try it out before you do it. That's a huge step. So once you've painted it, obviously you want to give it 2 coats depending on how good it's going. Look at that. And then from here, it's up to you. Do you want that gloss? Do you want to go back over it with, some finish to make it shiny, to make it, they have these really cool glazes that you can put on it. So if you do white and then you wanted to kind of distress it, you can buy like a chocolate glaze to go over it to kind of make it look distressed a little bit more antique-y. Do you like the base color? Like what is your style? I typically, depending on what, now I've done the chocolate base and then I've also just done regular paint. But I typically don't do a whole lot on top of mine. I just get that good solid thing. Now you will want to do obviously both sides in between. Let them dry a good day before you flip it over, just so you don't have any boo-boos and mess ups. If you do, just sand them down. Something else that I've done. So if you have a good solid cabinet, you can come on and make it look like it's got the fancy trim. So if you'll look at these photos that I did, this is a before photo. Yep, that's right. This is an after photo. And all I did is I bought the tiny little bitty trim from your local hardware store, and I cut it. So I would go in and I would cut the angles so that it can make a rectangle, glued it on the front of my cabinet doors, and it looks like totally brand new updated cabinets. Perfect job. Really quick fix. I bought all the trim for that whole entire kitchen. I want to say for like 70 bucks. And then I bought the paint for, another $30. So that whole kitchen was redone and looking fabulous for just a little over $100. So this is a really quick way. I always want to use the wood glue going around it, and then you want to be really careful not to use too much because it'll leak out the sides and can make a big mess. So I would go behind with my paper towel, clean up the glue. The way you get it centered is, you measure from the top, measure from the side, and make sure it's even all the way around, and then literally glue it, press it on, let it dry. But the reason I like to paint these first is because it's hard to kind of get in the crevices and you can sometimes miss it. So if you paint the door, then you glue these on, then you can go back and just gently paint over it or paint over it before you glue it on, and you're done. So once you have that on, it's up to you. Do you want to do new door handles, new hinges? You can also repurpose the ones you have by just buying some spray paint and spray painting over them. I would recommend you clean them really, really well before you do that. Actually, if you will soak them in Coke, that's a really good way to kind of eat off some of that and then clean it with Dawn. So that helps get those things really good and clean, and then you can use the original. You can always buy new ones if you want to, but that's a way to cheaply do that. And then you can have these gorgeous kitchen counters and cabinets that look so phenomenal, but you did it on such a budget. So that's one of my tips on how to do this. If you are looking for other great tips, I recommend you subscribe below. Go on there, check out my website. I've got tons of blogs on DIY projects, what to do things. If you are looking at this because you're looking at doing some upgrades, getting ready to sell your home, click below because I do have a completely free guide on things that you need to look for when selling your home. Kind of like a seller to-do list. So this would be one of those things, adding some new paint. So completely yours, just click and download, and then check out some more of my videos because I've got some more coming up on some other really cool ideas to save you some money and make the most bang for your buck. Thanks, guys.